Ladies and gentlemen, our scripture comes from Psalms 20, verse 5. We will rejoice in your salvation. In the name of our God, we will set up our banners. The Lord fulfill all your petitions. I hope that the Lord answers all your requests today, whatever they may be. Let's get into Batman v Superman for a minute. And today I want to throw something out to you guys because I can't wrap my finger around it either. That is, I've got a question for you guys. How did Diana actually know that Bruce Wayne was trying to break into Lex Luthor's files? How did she know this? Was she monitoring Bruce Wayne's activity before this? Here's something that we can talk about. So, first of all, the first time we see Diana, she is at Lex Luthor's exhibit or meeting, convention, or donation, charity event on books. And she's there watching Lex Luthor as he speaks about the relevance of knowledge in books. And then we see her basically watching or monitoring Bruce Wayne, who has come there. Now, how she got on the invitation list, I don't know. How she was able to decipher that Bruce Wayne was going to break in there to try and break in to get Lex Luthor's files, I don't know. But she obviously must have been keeping tabs on Lex Luthor. And from there, she kept tabs on Bruce Wayne, I guess. The invites that Lex Luthor was putting out. So, what's interesting is she's able to monitor Bruce, knows when Bruce goes in to steal Lex Luthor's stuff, and then steals the stuff that Bruce Wayne has stolen from Lex Luthor and gets away with it. And Bruce Wayne, he ends up chasing her down, but unsuccessfully, and she gets away in a car. And what's interesting is how Bruce Wayne is able to investigate her, find out who she is, and track her down. And the next time Bruce Wayne is seeing, or he tracks down Diana to an antiques exhibition where he finds her. And she's still a step ahead of him. It's like she anticipates he's going to find her, and she's able to return his drive in his car. She even says glove compartment of his car. That means she broke into his car and put the stuff back. And she's able to be up in the exhibition. So that means she had to be eyeing him. She had to be tracking him. She had to be following his movements, which tells me something else. It seems as though Diana was actually monitoring Bruce Wayne and his activities for a while. I'm not too sure how, but apparently if Lex Luthor could have been monitoring Bruce and Clark, I'm guessing Diana was also in the background monitoring Lex movements, and because of that she was able to monitor Bruce and Clark as well. So because she obviously was trying to track down Lex to get back the picture that he had of her, and it seems as though she was trying to figure out if he knew her identity. Seems as though that's what was her main thing, was keeping certain things secret. So that's as much as I get, but I still don't know how she managed to track down Bruce Wayne, be steps ahead of him all the time, and how she was aware of Lex Luthor. We don't even know the story behind how Lex Luthor got the photo. How we know that Lex Luthor was investigating Diana in great detail. But anyway, after this, we see Bruce Wayne track down not only Diana at the antique shop, but he's able to even send an email to her. And I mean, come on now. How was Bruce able to link up with Diana and send stuff to her email? I don't know. But he was able to do that as well. So there's a lot of things I just don't know. And I would like to hear your suggestions, your ideas for how Bruce Wayne was able to track down Diana, how Diana was able to track down Bruce Wayne. Those are all intriguing things. And the last thing, of course, how was Diana able to locate Doomsday and basically then join the fray with Superman and Batman? And this is very interesting because, once again, when we look at it, Superman doesn't know who Diana is. Clearly, he says, like, she's with you. And Bruce Wayne's like, or at least Batman, he's like, I thought she's with you. Which makes sense because he doesn't know who she is. He kind of is now figuring out who she is. It's like a wonder to both of them. But there's something Diana says that fits in with my former video. Remember, some people misunderstand Diana walking away from mankind for some reason or the other to mean that she abandoned mankind. But there are a couple of things that Diana says as Superman and Batman and herself are fighting Doomsday. One of the things she says is, she says, I've fought things from other worlds before. Let me say that again. I've fought things from other worlds before. Not a thing from another world before, but things, multiple things. What that hints to is the fact that, one, Diana, we all know when she was on Themyscira, she had not faced any things from otherworldly events and killed them. She said, I've killed things from other worlds before. Not just fought, but she killed things. We know she killed Ares, which was her half-brother, and he was from another world. But that's just one thing. She said things, which means Diana continues throughout her history, her 100-year history on Earth, in the world, defending mankind to some degree, and contributing to defending mankind, and killing other things from other worlds. That's what that implies. So when we see Diana at the end of the movie speaking to Bruce Wayne, she says, I walked away from mankind. 100 years ago, I walked away from mankind. A century of horrors. It definitely doesn't mean that she did not defend mankind after that point. But it sounds like she basically sort of left mankind to sort of work out their differences between each other. She didn't interfere much. But if there was something outside of the realm of mankind, a threat outside the realm of mankind, she always jumped into the fray and dealt with what needed to be done, but she kept her secret identity at the same time. She wasn't trying to sort of be prominent as a prominent power piece or a leader like Superman was, intermeddling with man's affairs continuously. She wasn't doing that all the time. Which leads to another question. It begs the question, what was Diana doing for those 100 years? Obviously, she faced otherworldly creatures and killed them. So, that means during that 100-year span, she not only fought Ares, but she fought multiple other otherworldly beings and beasts and creatures and things and killed them. So she was pretty busy within that 100 years. What was she doing? That's the question. And that, I guess, will be filled in with the Wonder Woman sequel and the other Wonder Woman movies, which was really cool. But I thought that this was interesting. So if you have any answers to those questions that I just posed, how did she know to track Batman? Obviously, Lex Luthor had files on her, and he was building up. He knew who she was, so when he invited her to this meeting, he must have had a purpose behind her being there for some reason, maybe to investigate her more, who knows. But what I do know is Lex Luthor had tabs on everybody, right? He had tabs on the Flash, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman, obviously. But he seemed not to be the only person with intel on these guys. He seemed to have intel. It seems as though Wonder Woman at least knew something about Bruce Wayne. And so I'm very curious. Also, we know that she knows about the time before her time when the new gods fought against mankind and the old gods. So she knows something about that as well. And all of this is very interesting because when we have Bruce Wayne talking to Diana at the end of BVS, Diana talks about, these metahumans not wanting to be found. That Bruce Wayne is the actual guy talking about how men are essentially still good and they have to learn how to work together. Diana's the one saying man made a world where working together is impossible, which she should know. But it's just interesting how Bruce Wayne seemed to be the one giving the inspirational piece at the end of that one, whereas at the end of Wonder Woman movie you hear Diana speaking more inspirationally. And the other point that is very interesting is when she's speaking, that dialogue she's speaking about seems to be a renewed commitment to what she's about. Um, and what's interesting about that is you hear her doing this dialogue at the end of Wonder Woman, but she's in the present time giving the dialogue.